and to be commented upon. And Quantum Leap is a club that is themed around science, technology, environment, and other subjects that are geeky in nature, but all the applicable rules of Toastmasters and the convention of Toastmasters apply to Quantum Leap. The meetings live streaming has started, and yes, so right. So a few ground rules. The first is that we try to keep our screens on our audio off unless it started speaking. And secondly, we refrain. Yeah, Imran, I said screens on, not off. Anyhow, the second is that we refrain from creating controversy from discussing controversial topics like sex-related politics. Of course, this is a club themed around science and technology, so we are all mature people. The whole idea is not to create debate or controversy that may marginalize or hurt a person or a group of individuals. So, as president, it's my honor and delight to welcome everyone. And today we have a packed agenda. We have a keynote that is themed around AI. We have a project that's very popular in Toastmasters, perhaps the most popular, which is dealing with a rough audience, managing a difficult audience. And of course, we have our signature panel evaluations and our unique table topics. So we have some guests with us. First of all, those distinguished Toastmaster Fatah. We all know you very well, but perhaps for those who don't know you, please introduce yourself, sir. Please. Sir, you're muted.
Thank you very much. Yeah. My name is Dityam Abdul Fattah. Most people know me in Oasis Toastmasters Club, but I'm a member also in District F, District 32, and District 107. So I spread myself out, and I am a table topic master today here. I've been Toastmaster since 2015. I finished 8 pathways, and I started on the 9th one. And this is me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM. It's such an honor to have you with us today. And for those who don't know, DTM Fatah is one of the charter members of Quantum Leap Advance. We thank you for that, sir. Thanks to people like you and so many people present on this call right now. We are hosting 76 meetings today, which is, if I say so myself, it is an amazing feat for a themed advanced club. And in District 122, of all places. So thank you so much. We are honored to have you. We have Mr. A.Q. Lakhani. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Abdul Qadir Lakhani. I am a guest right now. Basically, I'm a chartered accountant, having spent some time with PwC as well. Right now, working on developing my own accounting and audit firm for US and Middle East-based clients. That is it. And thank you for the invitation.
Great. So great to have a fellow chartered accountant amongst us. Thank you so much for joining us. Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, my mentor in Toastmasters. Please introduce yourself for those who don't know.
Hello everyone, my name is Najam Rizvi. I originally joined Karachi Toastmasters in around probably 20 years back. After that, I am with Karachi Toastmasters, and I completed my CL and CC and haven't gotten very far with the pathways. And I occasionally drop into different meetings, different club meetings. So it's a pleasure to join you today. Over to you, Toastmaster Najam.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najam. We have Toastmaster Abid Ali Hamid. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. Talha, just joined, just seeing your video, live video. You are saying that I introduce myself?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I am Abid Ali Habib. I am a Toastmaster for so many years in Karachi Toastmasters Club. Very happy to join this meeting and love to learn something new from artificial intelligence that you mentioned. So hope enjoy the meeting today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So today's theme, our VP Education has done a number on me, and she's taken the Geek of the Week and designated it as the club meeting theme. But I think it's very interesting, and that also means that there will be no need for a separate Geek of the Week session. So today's theme is, ladies and gentlemen, how Star Wars sucks. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry to virtually everyone, the entire world. Actually, this meeting was scheduled for May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day, but it was rescheduled to today. And even in that meeting, I meant to highlight that there are so many better things in our lives than be engaged with the very, I would say, inconsistent, illogical, and substandard, to be honest, Star Wars universe. For example, the Dune franchise, Fast and Furious, Star Trek is Fast and Furious. We'll continue to discuss it. People also say that Star Wars is actually not science fiction, it is fantasy. And if you see it in that light, I think it all makes some sort of sense, because in fantasy, you're more concerned with the magic and special powers that don't need to make a whole lot of sense. And if you think of Star Wars as not sci-fi, which is most certainly not, but as a fantasy franchise which uses fighters and lightsabers instead of swords and shields, then of course it does start making a whole lot of sense. We'll also discuss how science fiction and franchises like Star Wars shape our culture. Because we all think of things like this, Star Wars, Star Trek, you name it, as some things that are deeply geeky, deeply niche. But think about it. Among the top grossing movies in the history of the world, 90% of them are science fiction, the exception being Titanic. And that, by the way, also came on the heels of Terminator. If there was no Terminator and Terminator 2, James Cameron would not have the audacity and the money to actually create Titanic. So Titanic owes its existence to science fiction. And there are a whole lot of other franchises. Your superhero movies are, of course, science fiction, your Marvels, your DCs, and these have been dominating the conversation for the longest. So it's kind of a paradox, because whenever someone talks about science fiction, someone mentions Star Wars, Star Trek, Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury. In real life, we tend to think about them as people with special interests, like they're some sort of niche, they're removed from the mainstream. But it turns out that this is the mainstream. This stuff makes the most money. Your movies and your gaming, it's all science fiction. And gaming, by the way, is a far more lucrative business than even the movies. And for the longest time, the best-selling games, with the exception of Grand Theft Auto, for example, you have Halos, you have Half-Lives, and even Call of Duty's variant that was set in the future. These have been the money-making franchises. Somewhere there's a disconnect. People like to laugh at these concepts, people ridicule people who actually have allegiance and interest in these concepts, and yet they end up making the most money. So we'll explore that. So as Toastmaster of the Day, it is my obligation to introduce the meeting segments, and Quantum Leap is distinguished by, and speaking of distinguished, okay, as president, let me interrupt myself here and remind everyone that we need 3 renewals for 3 new members who are distinguished. That's all we need. So all the members present and all the friends of the club, please try other members to enlist for Quantum Leap or renew their membership so that we can achieve distinction. And speaking of distinguished, Quantum Leap has been always distinguished because scientific and educational keynotes are its centerpiece. And I am proud to say that Quantum Leap has to be the club throughout the world. In its 75 meetings, it has hosted more international, multicultural, global speakers than any club, area, division, or district in the entire world. We opened our club with a keynote on quantum mechanics by Sky Nelson Isaacs, who is a USA-based scientist. He has returned to this club 4 times, and he will gladly return whenever we ask him. We've had researchers, we've had psychologists, we've had environmentalists, we've had people who have been subject matter experts, and they have provided real value. I believe the most valuable part of Quantum Leap in all these 76 meetings have been the knowledge that we've shared and the horizons that we've experienced throughout these meetings, through our keynotes. And the second would be, of course, the evaluations, that we have a world exclusive evaluation format invented by someone who has sadly left our group, I hope temporarily, ongoing tensions, but it was invented by DTM Sudarshan, and all the speeches are actually evaluated with respect to auditory, visual, perceptible, structural, and language aspects, and that is something that is exclusive to Quantum Leap. Our table topics format is also exclusive to Quantum Leap. Today, our language evaluator is Toastmaster Zahra Ibrahim. If she joins, if she doesn't, then perhaps we will get someone else. Otherwise, we get on with the meeting. And our opening segment is our keynote speech. And oh yes, we are making good time. We are 4 minutes ahead of schedule. We have a keynote titled Build a Brave New World with an Artificial Intelligence. And today's keynote will focus on perhaps expanding our horizons with respect to how AI can be used. And we'll all end up, hopefully, much smarter, because that's Quantum Leap's slogan as well. Leave every meeting smarter. I would first invite our keynote speaker to briefly introduce himself before starting the keynote. So, Mr. Arslan Ali Ansari, please briefly introduce yourself.
Thank you. You guys can hear me? Perfect. Okay. So my name is Arslan Ali. I'm consultant at 2STC in NEOM. I basically help enterprise in embracing the AI technology and cloud to automate their processes and increase productivity and reduce inefficiencies. So that's my quick introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Arslan Ali will deliver a 30-minute long keynote speech. After that, we'll allow 10 minutes for Q&A. And so everyone put your hands together for Mr. Arslan Ali. Build a brave new world with AI. Build a brave new world with AI. Arslan Ali.
Thank you. So I'm a bit new to this, Toastmaster format, but I will try to, try to come up to your expectations. Definitely. It seems like I might not be able to make people smarter, but I will definitely become a smarter human after this session. But anyways, so I'll start with my screen share. So just give me a second. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Perfect.
Yes.
Let me see if I can. Okay, so I have prepared, couple of slides that I can take help of to actually build the context that what um, I believe that AI is going to do with the daily life that we are spending these days, and how is it going to help enterprise in redefining the working processes that they are currently um, using to develop different things that we are having in our daily life. So the thing is that we know that there are a lot of different negative perceptions as well around AI, that it will take away the jobs and it will do a lot of different scary stuff. But yes, we are here to embrace the optimistic part of AI, and we will be definitely looking at that, what kind of brave world that we are going to produce with the AI. So this is my high level introduction. I've been working with a lot of different types of enterprise in Middle East, Europe, and US. Um, I'm currently working as a member of Center of Excellence at NEOM. I'm a cloud consultant at Saudi Telecom and Do Telecom as well. I'm also working along with Atos, a French consulting, TCS, an Indian consulting, and I'm also certified from CNCF as one of the Cube astronaut. So this is my high level introduction, but generally I have spent more than 20 years in the industry, mostly into IT, modernization, transformation, and now AI. So the executive summary of the whole conversation will be revolving around the general perception that we have about the AI. So generally, the public thinks about what public thinks about AI, and how this perception is very much different from when it comes to technologists. How AI is augmenting the lives, generally, the enterprise processes and other stuff. We'll deep dive into there. How enterprise evolution is going to be affected and disrupted by AI. How consumer lives will be disrupted by AI. So we'll deep dive into it. And definitely, before we make any perceptions or predictions around these, definitely there is a highest prediction that 1.8 trillion uh, market cap will be around AI. So there is huge investment that we are seeing in Gulf region as well, in Europe as well, and even in US, that everybody is moving towards AI. So AI adoption is the highest of all enterprise compared to what we have been looking at in the past. For instance, after the advent of XML requests or AJAX, there was a boom in SaaS industry. So the first one was YouTube, Google Maps, Gmail. These were the products that came into SaaS, software as a service on the web. So it was because of the XML request, or we normally call them AJAX. Because before that, it was only static pages. You always open the static page, it shows you some content, you use that, consume that content, and then you go to another page. So that was the overall user experience. But SaaS completely changed the realm of softwares that we were using. But the thing is, the first adoption was mainly through consumers. So all the applications like YouTube, like Google Maps, Gmail, Hotmail, all of these consumer apps were there since the beginning, like from 2000. But the enterprise embraced the SaaS in late 2010, or I would say 2009. when we saw that Salesforce came in, Microsoft Office 360 came in, and a lot of other applications like SAP, HANA, SAP, other softwares, they all came onto the web, and they started giving the solutions as software as a service. So there was no more CD-ROMs that you take to your servers and then install those softwares and everything. So everything of that sort is gone. I don't think any one of you would be having a laptop with a CD-ROM anymore. So that is how the transformation of technology taken place from consumer to enterprise. But this time, this is different. AI has created a lot of fear of missing out in the enterprise, that enterprise wants to be the first one in the race. They want to adopt the AI transformation immediately. But the problem with them is that they don't know how to do that, because there are a lot of misconceptions about AI, how to utilize it, and how to actually embrace the whole technology in the enterprise. So let's dig deep into the general perception. So what everybody, including the enterprise, thinks about the AI. So the first biggest misconception is that AI is going to replace you, or AI is going to take your jobs and things like that. But that might not be completely true, because it will take the jobs definitely of those who are not going to embrace it. Definitely, if it is not going to take the job. But generally, the jobs that you do physically, like plumbers and all of those things, they don't have to worry about it. The second thing is, mostly, there are a lot of jobs like lawyers, like doctors. We are thinking that these will be irrelevant. But no, AI is going to complement them instead of replacing them. For instance, the doctors in US, the doctors do a lot of other stuff other than the practicing their job. They have to prepare the paperwork, they have to talk to the insurance, they have to do a lot of other stuff, like inputting the data of a patient inside the computer as well, like an electronic health record. So they have to do a lot of other stuff other than their core job, which is the practice. So AI is going to basically, complement them by doing all of these chores that they do other than their job. So this way, their productivity will increase. Their inefficiencies, for instance, when they are manually inputting something or inputting the data or something of that sort, they don't have to do that anymore. When they'll not do it, some AI will definitely do it, and which is highly trained on such a work, then definitely it won't do any mistakes, no mistyping, no misprinting or anything of that sort. So inefficiencies will be eliminated. Productivity of a doctor will be 10x, because he doesn't have to care about the rest of the things. Maybe the appointment management, because the dentist. I've been told by a friend of mine in US that once he went to a dentist for scaling or something, and he said that I was lying there opening my mouth, and the dentists were working with me, and suddenly he's getting calls from the other patients as well, that we are coming at this time or this time or this time, and his mouth was all open, and he has to take the call, because he cannot afford there an assistant, he cannot afford a receptionist, or some people like this in that market. Definitely in Pakistan, in India, the labor is so cheap that a dentist can afford a lot of different types of people. But there it is a challenge. So AI will complement on taking the calls, providing customer service, managing the appointments, I would say, and many things, like even customer has some questions, they can call a number where that doctor's trained AI will definitely cater them. My point is, AI is going to complement your jobs. All you need is embrace it. But generally, the perception is AI is all about prompt engineering, that you go to ChatGPT, you go to, for instance, the DeepSeek, Perplexity, or all of these, chat engines, and you go and chat with them. You tell them your problem, you tell them your query, You tell them what you need about research, and you get an answer from them. No, that's not the only thing. That is the tip of the iceberg. When I'm talking about, productivity for a doctor, it involves a lot more than that. How is it? It involves conversational AI, because it will take up the calls. And when an AI agent will take a call, that means that call has to be routed through a call service provider. That means it is integrated with some sort of service providers like Zong, Jazz in our country, or Q-Mobile, or Virgin in US maybe. So all of these technologies need to work hand in hand together to make it even possible. And then once these AI agents takes a call, just one call is not just one single AI agent. Why? Because if AI agent has to book an appointment, it has to talk to some other third-party resources as well. For instance, a calendar, for instance, a system of record that you have for that particular patient. You need the context of that patient also fed into your AI reference database, so that that AI agent understands that patient who is calling. As soon as the patient tells you that, okay, my name is this or that, and the AI gets to know about it, it start discussing about the patient's problem. Oh, we have got your blood reports. Oh, we have got your X-ray reports, and I want to schedule a meeting or schedule an appointment for you tomorrow or day after, so that we can change your medicine, so that we do. So all this context needs to be fed into the AI. Who's going to do that? That needs a lot of complex integrations. Okay, so only the chatbot is not going to replace your job. There are a hell lot of more things that needs to be done for a comprehensive AI-based, I would say, new world. Okay, now since we know that the ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and this prompt engineering is not the only thing, then definitely we understand that there is a lot that needs to be done to embrace the AI in the essence of it. And what are those areas? They are cloud computing, they are low-code solutions, there are a lot of enterprise integrations that is done by SAP, Oracle, and other ERP systems. There are a lot of different types of roles that are required right now in the market. So according to a report by Korn Ferry, 4.3 million high-skilled workers are required in cloud, AI, and ERP space. 4.3 million is a big number. And the total anticipated market cap by 2030 for AI would be $1.8 trillion compared to any other market. And the current skill gap, if you see about AI, is around 70%. So there is a 70% skill gap in every GSI in the world right now. They don't have the right skill set for AI to do such kind of integrations that I was talking about. Okay? They need specialized cloud consultants who understands the AI acumen as well. Okay. So as I mentioned, AI is augmentation, not replacement. AI is going to create a lot more jobs than it is taking away. Definitely, it is going to take away a lot of jobs, but those jobs are very specific. Like I would say that as a scheduler, somebody who is scheduling the appointments. Okay, it's a repetitive work, and that's it. So those repetitive works can be replaced. I would say, like teller. Okay, teller has been replaced by ATMs already, but still you find tellers in the banks. Okay, we know that ATM has replaced tellers, but most of us still go to a teller in the bank. I don't know why, but we go to a teller because we want that human touch. So definitely it will replace a lot of jobs, but you will find these people still on their table. Okay, because it will complement them. So right now, the idea behind AI is not to replace people, but to complement their work, but to increase productivity. Like I mentioned already, doctors using AI for diagnostics and impressions. So impression is a huge thing that they have to do. Whenever they see a patient, they have to write a whole page with their impressions, that what they think about their disease, what they think about this diagnosis. So they have to write it manually. So they don't have to do it anymore. They just have to give a transcription to the AI, and AI will summarize it and write it for them. Okay, lawyers have to do research. People are saying that, you know, lawyers will be completely replaced. No, there is still, okay, how you do a research for a corporate to prepare a contract, and that corporate is going to sign, let's say, $100 million contract. Do you think they will rely on an AI generated contract? Never. Do you think the lawyers will create a contract 100% based on their research through an AI agent? No way. They will definitely complement. They will make use of this augmented AI, but they will not completely rely on it. Okay, because AI will do only the things that it is trained for. And you have trained it with very specific knowledge that you want it to perform decisioning based on. So we understood that AI is going to complement your jobs, no matter what kind of job you're doing. The idea is that it is creating a lot of more jobs as well, which were not there before. For instance, AI ethicists. When I prepared this presentation last week, I didn't know any ethicist at that time, but in fact, last time, probably 3 days ago, we went to a meeting in a government office. There we found an AI ethicist, and that was my first encounter with him. And he wrote a book on AI ethics, and he said this will be the first book ever. So that means this AI ethicist is something, and it will be required by a lot of different types of enterprise, because AI can do a lot of good, and definitely whatever can do a lot good can also do a lot bad as well. So you need to make sure that, you know, that a lot bad is not going to affect directly any human life, which is why you need that. There will be a lot of AI trainers who can train the traditional mainstream workforce to start using the AI or start embracing the new processes which are augmented by AI. For instance, we create a brand new world with all the AI-based processes in the enterprise, in the consumers, and everywhere, and we leave a human of this age into that brand new world. It will take him, you know, ages to understand how things work in there. So that is why you need particular trainers to educate you that, you know, how you can make yourself comfortable with these AI-based transitions. Definitely auditors are important. I forgot to write about cybersecurity specialists as well, because there is a particular type of cybersecurity that you need to implement using AI. Why? Because now these threat individuals, or I would say these adversaries, will start using AI to do penetrate into your networks. They will start using AI to, you know, break into your networks. So the cybersecurity is the most important area where you need to implement AI, where you need to make sure that your infrastructure and everything. In the recent past, also we have seen that there were a lot of cyber attacks done in the Indo-Pak region. Okay, and there was a cyber warfare that was going on. So that means using AI, it will become very easy for these individuals to penetrate into your networks. You need to create specialized cybersecurity for while using the AI and for the AI. Okay. The biggest jobs that we see, or the skill gap that we see, is in the implementation of AI systems. That means the cloud specialist who will set up the compute, the hardware for running the AI inferences. Whenever you write one prompt, it runs on a certain compute. It burns certain watts of energy to get you the answer that you are looking for. Okay, in the AI world, we call it tokens. 20,000 tokens, 50,000 tokens. Whenever you write one AI prompt, so that means there are specialized individuals that will be required to implement such a compute or such infrastructure, along with the power, the backup power, the actual infrastructure, the GPUs and everything, and then the maintenance of it, then monitoring of it, then cybersecurity of it. There is a huge skill gap that has been produced in that area, which is why I have, circled it within the cloud computing area. But that is not the only cloud computing. You need a lot of individuals to do that. Then AI strategic consultants. These are the people who will inform the enterprise that how and what to do when it comes to embracing the AI. I hope I haven't gone far. How's the time check?
You are at 21st minutes out of 30.
Okay. I will just wrap up. Okay. Then we need process engineers. Now, these process engineers are like business analysts, but with certain AI acumen, so that they can help enterprise understand that, what kind of AI we can include in a particular business process so that we automate it and we eliminate any inefficiencies in it, or we increase the productivity. So there are certain individuals which are required because enterprise processes are very complex. Bringing in AI would be hell lot of a challenge. So these are specialized consultants who will be required, who are currently required, as I mentioned already, that enterprise are looking for people who can guide them how to embrace AI. Okay, so then, as I mentioned already, there are hybrid roles blending different domains. So there are people like AI enhanced farmers or AI enhanced, I would say builders, AI based buildings. You will start getting to know or hear about, this particular building is built using AI. So a lot of these jobs will be there, architects. You will also see lawyers, you will see doctors, you will see AI will be enhancing a lot of these, blending domains as well. So these were the very high level roles. I can write on, hundreds of different other roles also, which will be created by AI. But generally, these are the high level. So let me go next. Okay, how is AI going to evolve the enterprise? So AI is definitely streamlining the processes, eliminating inefficiencies already I mentioned, and it will improve definitely the productivity as well. So I gave you an example of a doctor, but there are a lot of other examples that I've written here. For instance, in enterprise, there's a huge challenge to generate an invoice. It takes sometimes days, sometimes even weeks to generate an invoice. But AI can automate a lot of different processes which are required to, pre-qualify to create a certain invoice. So that can be done in minutes. HR screening, we know that it takes maybe a month or so in an enterprise to get somebody on board. It can be done in minutes. And we have heard latest news by I believe in Khalij Times, they mentioned that Emirates has embracing AI in their HR screening process, and the screening process has reduced from 30 days to 1 day or some hours only, and it has, saved them more than 18 million dirham. That's a huge saving that they got, but it hasn't replaced the HR individuals that are working. Definitely, it has complemented them. So procurement and sourcing from months to minutes, automated marketing, the real value is there because people, there are a lot of companies who do a lot of good stuff, but you don't know about them. You might need them, but you don't know about them. So AI is going to help them to market their, USPs, and that way you will also get to know about them very quickly. So e-commerce through agentic sales, there has been a very good demo Google has recently given using Salesforce and generative AI and their Gemini, in which they have showcased that, on the e-commerce websites, you don't have to go and search for a particular product. You talk to an agent, you tell them that I need this, and they gave a very difficult example. For instance, the consumer bought a flower plant and he wanted to select a particular compost for it. He was not able to do that, because of which he had to show it on the camera. And once he showed it on the camera, the AI automatically detected that what kind of plant is it and what kind of compost you need for that. What kind of fertilizer is better for it. So that is the kind of e-commerce that you will be looking at. Enhanced customer support and services. Definitely, I mentioned already, the conversational AI is rapidly changing how we see the customer support everywhere. Then in consumers. Okay. So consumers will get the best of it. How? What I see is that within 3 to 4 years, we will have a personalized AI butlers at your service. That means every one of us can hire a personalized butler and a service provider will provide it to us. Okay, maybe we'll have it on one of our wearables, maybe an implant, maybe something. Okay, and it can be provided to us. And that butler will be at our service all the time throughout the day. Whatever we want to ask it, whatever we want to share with it, whatever we want to get an advice on, the butler will be at our service. For instance, I want to buy something, it will definitely go to Amazon, eBay, or wherever it has to go automatically. We don't have to do that. The butler will do it for us. It will find that product. It will do whatever we are asking it to do. And that can be done by the examples of this technology has been shown already in different other movies. Maybe a movie 10 years ago, like Her. There is a season going on at Netflix, Black Mirror, which is showing a glimpse of it. But the biggest challenge is that, how would that, AI agent get into your head, or will get the commands? Yes, we understand that we can have this mobile phone and we can talk like we do using Siri or anything of that sort, but that would not be the case. The Elon Musk new startup Neuralink has already started, human trials already, and they have done successful human trials where these brain implants are helping the patients to automatically control the computers. If they are able to control the keyboard and mouse and all of that, then that means they can also control an agent as well. They can give commands. They don't have to tell that move this mouse to the right and then click. They just have to say, close this window, open Amazon. The agent will keep on doing that. And that is so easy. It is happening. All we need is that neuroimplant. So even if that neuroimplant is not there, the technologies will completely be changed. The phones that we are using is going to be replaced completely. The screens that we see on the videos that we see on the screens will not be required anymore in the future. Maybe the vision that we need to create in our head would be created some other way. You don't even need to see that from your own eyes. So my point is, start embracing AI, start understanding that AI is going to disrupt the life that we are spending these days, and it will disrupt in a good way. It will make the life or the world a better place, and it will give the humanity the opportunity to progress much faster compared to what we are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arslan. That was amazing. And of course, even more amazing how you managed to finish with 1 minute. Maybe
I was looking at the time.
Yeah, maybe your spouse has something to do. I don't know. Anyhow, okay, everyone. Now we have 5 to 10 minutes of question and answers. Please don't let obstacles. Yes, no, sir. Over to you, sir.
DTM Abdul Fatah?
Yes, sir, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're on mute. You are on mute, Mr. Abdul Fatah.
Sir, unmute
I'm
yourself.
sorry.
Now we can
Okay,
hear.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that presentation, and I am sure I'm going to leave this to my grandsons to worry about it. At 72, I'm not going to worry about AI. However, I'm using AI at the moment, and my question to you, for our level at least, what do you recommend? Because we use it either we used to make an article, ask a question, or presentation. Usually I use AI PPT. Or if we have a little video, or make a video of 3 minutes, a video clip, and we ask AI to enhance it and whatever. What are the application you recommend, particularly for the video?
For the video.
Yeah, I make a video of 3 minutes, say, and I want to enhance with effects and music and what have you. Is there an application in AI for that?
Yeah, there are a lot of applications which can do that. I'll have to check what exactly in your case, but definitely there are a lot of applications which enhances the videos, which even I think in CapCut itself, there are AI enhancers in different these AI video editing softwares. There are a lot of video editing softwares which are embracing AI. So if you use such AI editing or video editing softwares like CapCut, there are some others also.
I use
Adobe
Canva.
also.
I use Canva
Canva.
usually. I make my
Canva
videos
for
on
video
Canva.
editing?
And Canva, not so much, but I'm looking for AI since AI now is great. So I would
Yeah,
like
so
AI to
I would
take over.
recommend using CapCut. It is user friendly, and
What's
it
it
is
called?
CapCut.
CapCut.
CapCut. CapCut.
CapCut, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul Qadir. Your question.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum Aslan. Thanks a lot for the nice information. Just a question. Since we every day see a lot of new things happening, a new app comes up every day, and then the old one seems outdated. So, in so much hurry and all, how can one settle down with all these technologies? You start learning one thing, and then you realize that something else has appeared the next day. So, how can we let's say manage with all these with the ongoing hustle and all?
Okay, it seems like you are from a similar generation like mine. So we never had this feeling ever because the technology was suddenly changing. It was changing, every year we used to get a new version, but never every week. We have never seen a new version of something every week. We have always seen there is a new version coming 25, 24, based on the years. But now things are changing at a very rapid pace. Our new generation, which we call as Generation Z, Generation Alpha, and all of these generations, they are used to it. Okay, they don't have those, mind shifts that we are having because we were always used to what was before in our time. But generally, as I mentioned already, once you will embrace the AI will make some disastrous changes and some rapid changes in different industries. You'll see those changes so fast that you can't even imagine why, because it will increase productivity to 10x. So just imagine that we were supposed to do a progress in 1 year. That progress we will do in 1 month because of AI. We were supposed to create a new product in 10 years. That we will do in 1 year. That's the kind of change we will see. So we'll have to get used to of this change. Embrace the change. That is one thing. So first of all, we have to make up our mind that this change is going to be rapid. The second thing is how to get on to or get yourself up to speed with the technology. Okay, get yourself familiarized with the technology before it gets changed or replaced by it. But generally, I tell you, the overall technology infrastructure is not changing so fast. There are new things coming up which are complementing the technology. AI is same. From last 10 years, AI is the same. It's the same old models, the same LLM, large language model. The same word has been used in 2016 by Watson, IBM Watson, and is been used by ChatGPT as well, or Perplexity, or Anthropic, or anybody like Google. They are producing LLMs for large language model. So you ask question, it will answer you the thing. So on the tip of the iceberg, it is the same. The only thing is how you make use of this technology to create new things. Those new products are the product of this whole technology. You need to understand the overall technology, the structure of the technology. And once you understand that, you don't have to worry about how people are building. Like I used to get to like the DTM Abdul Fateh just asked, suggest me a product that can enhance the video, for instance. Okay. So when he mentioned that, there are hundreds of softwares that are out there which has been created using these LLMs or these AI technologies already. There are hundreds of softwares. I don't have to pressure myself to know every software. I just have to say, okay, my software works well. It has the AI. It can provide me these particular services. That's fine for me. Okay. There will be hundreds of other softwares also. ChatGPT also gives one product, Sora or something, Nora or Sora. I forgot its name. So you go there, you chat with it, it creates a video for you. Okay? And there are other softwares as well. My point is there will be hundreds of softwares that are going to become a product of this technology. All you need to know is this technology, how it works, how it gets integrated with our daily life or other systems. What is a RAG? Okay, these are terminologies within LLM. So LLM uses something called RAG. RAG is retrieval augmented generation. That means it retrieves the data from somewhere and then answer you for whatever you are asking. Before, this was not possible. Why? Because LLM was trained with a certain data set in, let's say, 2022. When you ask the question, it answers you from the time it was trained on. But now there is a new technology called RAG that comes in and it gives you the ability to plug in the fresh data, real-time data, like your company's financial reports, like a PDF document, like anything else. So what you need to know, RAG. What you need to know, LLM. There are other technologies as well, MCP, for instance, Model Context Protocol. What is that? So you do a chat with your AI agent. It prepares a context, okay? And if you ask any question without giving the context which you discussed already with that within that chat thread, the chat will automatically understand because it has that context already with you. Okay, so that is Model Context Protocol. So these are very specific, small terminologies around the LLM, the AI, the foundational AI that we call. So we don't have to get overwhelmed by that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think this is something very important that we should all remember, that it's not obligatory to learn every new software, every new technology, because yes, they're coming out every week, every day. I think the important thing is that we should determine what matters to us, what we need to do, and only look towards other options if our current options do not provide what we need. For example, I do all my designing in PowerPoint, including the Firefox. I don't feel the need to upgrade to any other software. Yes, sometimes I hit limitations because PowerPoint is not made for designing space, but the only wall that I hit in PowerPoint usage is that it cannot mold the text into a certain shape. For example, if I create a triangle and I want the text to fit inside that triangle, it will make a hash out of it. It won't be able to flow the text so that it fits a curved line or a circle very neatly. So that's why I'm forcing myself to learn Illustrator, because Illustrator does that. My question to you, Arslan, is that I've been trying to use AI for research work, especially the boring part where I have to go through legal text, ordinances, laws, and summarizing them, right? And also, for example, I want to extract certain provisions from companies' ordinance about certain things. I've give the chatbot the entire document and I'll ask it, fish this out of this one. Or for example, Toastmasters manuals where we need certain answers. But I don't know whether it's our prompts or the limitations of LLMs themselves, but they're still not very good at it. We are not giving them open-ended queries. We are defining a parameter from them that, this is the document, this is a text within which you have to find the answer. And still, sometimes the answers are not only incorrect, but sometimes they're blatant lies. It's making things up. So why does that happen? And when can we expect to see it to change?
Okay. So there are a lot of different types of models out there in the market, hundreds and hundreds of different types of models. Each model trained with specific technology, terminology, and industry specific knowledge as well. There are some model companies who are training like Nova, like DeepGram, like there are many other models you haven't have heard about them, but they produce specific models for specific use cases. Like DeepGram produces a model for text to speech and speech to text, so that you can use that for conversational AI. The conversational AI is also prompt engineering. If you understand ChatGPT and you think that you press a button where the mic gets activated, you can talk to ChatGPT. It's the same thing that you do, but on a real time. So DeepGram provides a specific model for that. So every model has their own specialty. If you go to ChatGPT and you use GPT 3 or 3.5 or there are a lot of other types, you might not be able to find the solution that you're looking for, but you might have to research that which model is good for your use case. For instance, for financial reporting, I have recently looked into Claude 3.7. You go upload your financial report, maybe your bank statement or anything of that sort. You start asking it questions like how much I spent in last 1 year on, let's say, utilities, how much I spend on fuel, how much I spend on this. How do you propose me to save money? How do you propose me to invest? How can I save money to invest? Where are the loopholes? Things like that. And it will start providing you the input based on that. But Claude 3.7 is very good for such kind of use cases. So there might be a use case where you'll have to find the appropriate model for it. And then I would definitely say, you would definitely love it. You will start saying that I wasn't even expecting this kind of, result or report.
So the key is to find the model that's appropriate to our requirements. We have to put in some hard.
Yeah. No. So this is where the opportunity comes in.
Right.
That every naive human like us cannot go and research for every prompt that what is the appropriate model, which is why these new softwares that Mr. A.Q. Lakhani mentioned, that every day there are new softwares coming in. But you will see that these micro SaaS solutions will be out there, addressing very specific needs. For instance, contract reviews. I was discussing with Aram yesterday itself that I am working on something that can, help people to review their contract through AI. Okay, tell them that which all clauses you should not go ahead with and which all clauses are good for you and which all clauses are hidden somewhere and you need to keep an eye on that. So things like that. So definitely there will be specific applications that you might be using for such use cases instead of looking around or juggling around with different models.
Right. Thank you so much, Arsalan. That was, I think, insightful. It was eye-opening.
Thank you.
Certainly paradigm shifting for most of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time for the Q&A, but please feel free to put in your questions in the chat, and we'll try to get them to Arsalan to answer them. Now, moving on, for some strange reason, you were making good time, and even though you stuck to your timeline, Arsalan, we are slipping slightly behind schedule. I don't know how or why. So I'll move on straight to the next segment, which is our prepared speech. And as we all know, our prepared speeches are evaluated by a panel of evaluators. So to conduct the session, I'll invite the lead evaluator, Toastmaster Imran Rana, to introduce the project and the evaluators. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Talha. I'm sure I'm audible. Am I audible? Okay,
Yes.
great.
You are.
Okay, before moving on, let me quickly locate my team where they are actually. So the auditory part is DTM Sarfraz Naseeb. DTM Sarfraz, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you physically. I don't know about mentally.
I want you virtually.
Okay, thank you.
And then we have the perceptible, that is DTM Talha bin Hamid. So, okay, Talha, this project doesn't ask for the evaluation on the speech. It asked about how the speaker has tackled or managed the disruptors. So how should we
You covered that part as lead evaluator, and let the panel evaluators evaluate it in the usual manner so that both aspects are covered.
So can we ask Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, can we ask you to be the visual evaluator, to do the visual part?
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, Toastmaster Najam is not right here for now. He will be here in 5 to 10 minutes.
So you are Gavilier Heather, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to become the to evaluate the visual part. Visual part is all about. Can Talha describe the visual part?
Visual part is
Heather is also a seasoned Gavilier.
Yeah, and on the request of a seasoned Toastmaster, I'm explaining to you the visual part, although he should have done it himself. But anyhow, Gavilier Heather, the visual part is actually the appearance, the gestures, the expressions, right? How the speaker appears visually, and what is the visual impact of the speech. Are you clear on this?
Yes. So I have to evaluate speakers about it.
Yeah, you'll have to evaluate the visual impact of the speaker, and you'll have 1 minute to do it. When the lead evaluator calls you for this, you'll then evaluate it for 1 minute. Okay.
Okay.
So for language part, can we ask Toastmaster Fateh?
What's that again?
DTM Talha, I would again request you to please explain the language part.
Language.
Yeah, the language and structure of the upcoming speech. When asked, you will be asked to evaluate the language and structure for 1 minute.
Okay, I'll tell him to mind his language. All right.
Okay. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today, distinguished Toastmaster Iram has taken up the challenge to face the disruptors, to face the music. And let me tell you one thing, DTM Iram, that we will go against the rule. So, disruptors has chance to disrupt Iram as much as possible.
No. That's against the evaluation.
Okay, so disruptor is requested
Just once.
Yes.
disturb the speaker just once, then the speaker will respond on that. The speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, but she will going to manage all the disruptors in 10 to 15 minutes, right? And the speech title is, just a minute, she just changed the title. And let me tell you the new speech title is Stress Management. Stress Management, DTM Aram Rizvi, the stage is yours.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening or good morning, wherever you are. How many of you have felt stress this week? Raise your hands. The ones who haven't, aren't you married?
The whole week was full of stress.
The whole week was full of stress. So all of you have felt stress this week. And to be very honest, all of us, somewhere or the other, wherever we are right now, have felt that in the form of either work, or it was political, or it was household. But the times have been changed, that stress isn't just the problem, it is the reality now of our lives. So either whether you're a CEO, you're a student, you're a homemaker, or even if a soldier or a family belonging to that, stress is the way that is reminding us that we care, we are growing, we are alive, and we have an expectation from the life. This is why the stress is right there. And unmanaged stress is something that is dangerous, whereas the stress is something that is really needed in life for it to go on. So there are a few alarming facts around stress that I would like to share. According to World Health Organization, stress has been dubbed as the health epidemic of the 21st century. Now, if all of us who have been part of Corona, I'm sorry, or have seen COVID-19, do have realized that there were many people who got the COVID, they were hit by the pandemic itself, and there were people who were not hit, but had an extreme stress around it. And those people were the one who got affected later on after pandemic, either by the diseases which were related to blood pressure, related to diabetes, or anything that sorts and is formed after we get extreme stress. So one of the reasons that there is a whole generation who has not been able to handle stress effectively are the ones who have gone through the pandemic time too. This is why this century has been, for the century, stress has been the #1 forum of epidemic. In Pakistan alone, a study by Aga Khan University found that 50% of adults report experiencing moderate to severe stress every single day. This means that there is a routine of their life, that they are doing it every single day, but somewhere or the other, the management of that routine is so vague or so ad hoc that they're not able to put it up into a management form. For example, how many of us still struggle to wake up early in the morning? We still do. We know that we have to wake up at a certain time for our children. We have to wake up at a certain time for breakfast. We have to wake up a certain time for the bus or for leaving to the office. But every single day we do. But every single day we struggle to have that positive energy for waking up in the morning. So this is something that happens every day in and out. And by the time we reach to Thursday, Friday and get used to it, we have the weekend that disrupts it again. So can I please request Toastmaster Imran Rana to please mute yourself?
Sorry, come again. Are you talking to
Please
me?
mute yourself, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Thank you. So even though we know that we have to mute our mics, and see, that's the management, right? We end up unmuting it and taking the risk and getting that stress of for the speaker and also for the listener. So this is something that we really need to manage. And that's how stress goes unmanaged in our lives when we do not plan it. So if I could go ahead with another number, globally, workforce stress causes nearly 300 billion annually due to absentees, turnover, and reduced productivity. So imagine that all of these absentees that we have at work, and there was an important meeting happening around it, or because we felt depressed and the stress is not able to be handled, or we couldn't communicate the stress to our management properly, or have that difficult conversation where we could ask them to sort out our job descriptions and make it easier for us for better productivity, cost $300 billion annually.
Visible body language, stage usage, attire and gestures, audible voice modulation, tone, texture of voice, perceptible expressions, gestures, linguistic
Exactly.
use of
DTM
language,
Sarfaraz,
grammar,
Nadeem.
phrases
Yes.
and words of importance, speech construction, opening
DTM
body
Sarfaraz,
conclusion,
Nadeem.
attire and just somebody talking to me.
Yes, DTM
Texture of
Sarfaraz.
voice, pitch, pace.
DTM
Yeah.
Sarfaraz, Nadeem.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend if you could please mute yourself, and you are also one of the evaluators of my speech. So if you could focus on that modular evaluation for me, and I would be so glad to hear that feedback from you. However, that would be possible if you could focus on my speech. It's just for a while. And trust me, I know you have lived a beautiful life, managed everything in American Dream, and such an inspiration for all of us. But we would really love to get a genuine feedback from you around my speech. Can we do that, please? And you are, by the way, you are one of the ideals for us, for someone who really manages stress so well. So in the evaluation, I would also like to hear one small tip personally from your side too. Can we do that, DTM Sarfaraz?
I think you're asking a lot from me.
Right?
Evaluate
so
stress and all that.
It.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, DTM Sarfaraz. So as I was saying, this is the kind of loss that the organizations, the workplaces worldwide face every year. But there is another one very chilling fact about stress, and that is that chronic stress is directly linked to 6 leading causes of death. So can I please, thank you very much. So the admin, can you please unshare and put me on the spotlight? Thank you very much. And let's hold on to this while we reach to the part where the TMOD is there, so that it doesn't interrupt the speech. And this is exactly how we need to focus on what roles we have got. And that makes the whole management so easy. If everybody could just follow their own rules. And by the way, this is all a learning. So it's all right. We do end up hiccuping here and there with the mistakes and the excitements that we have while we are trying to do our speeches or try to listen, or while we are being an evaluator. But just a little bit of more focus on the roles that we have, so that the management of the whole program goes smoothly. So thank you so much, dear Edmund Master.
In case you didn't notice, I'm playing exactly the role dedicated to me. And why do I find you constantly belittling the audience? I mean, seriously, you have no respect. You're asking people to unmute themselves. You're asking people to unshare. Is that your remedy of dealing with stress constantly?
Yes. Actually, fortunately for me, unfortunately for you, it is important that once somebody's on the stage, they do demand a bit of, attention and a respect, which is that, once the speaker is on the stage. So for me to keep it a bit positive and flowy, because I have 2 options, dear Zoom Master. I can either go ahead saying, please shut it off, or I can actually involve you in that process, understanding that you are trying to contribute on your best. So thank you for doing that, by the way. And if you allow me, can I go back to my topic and finish up with the actual big chilling fact about stress? And that is that it is one of the biggest causes of 6 kind of death that is happening in the world. Number 1 is heart disease. Number 2, cancer, lungs alignment, accidents, and failures of liver, and of course suicide. And this is where it happens that once we do not segregate our stress in the right direction. So stresses are important, but they really need to be handled well too. So there are 2 things that we can do once we have stress. Either we fight or we get into the flight mode. And our brain usually gets in one of these things with the adrenal rush that we get and our cortisols that get released because of the stress and the situation that we get in. Our heart will race very fast. Our muscles get tense. And of course, our senses, they get sharpened. And that's because we human beings are DNA'd in a form that we have to recognize the danger first. So anything that is happening, which is apart from the normal program or the normal setup, our brains, they get very sharp around it, that why is it happening? It's up to us that if any disruptions, any interruptions happen, do I want to take it up as someone who's doing it to disrupt and to spoil the phase? Or is it a part of the learning and to take it as a flow? So it's up to me to do that. For this, I would just like to go on and ask you all to do few things with me.
Talha, who's the table topic master, Talha? Does he have any theme? Does he have theme?
Not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge. But let me look at the agenda and
Will he going
I
to
don't know.
ask the questions relevant to the theme, or
I
will
don't
he
think that's
ask?
a requirement. I don't think that's a requirement. I think table topics master is free to choose his own topic as well.
All right.
Is-
DTM Talha bin Hamid and Toastmaster Imran Rana. I'm very sure DTM Fatah has something amazing lined up for table topics. And trust me, with his experience, let us learn from the way he brings it in today, rather than we telling him how we do it at Quantum Leap. So I think that's something amazing that's going to be lined up. So just slight focus over here, because you also have the evaluations to be done. So I just need you to do few things once you feel stressed out, or if you're having a long work or long focus that you had to do. And I understand we all had the AI long keynote right now, and I'm losing you all a bit here and there, but let's get together. So when you're sitting down and trying to move off from the work so that you don't get stressful, do these things. Name 5 things that you see from your eyes. Can I right now ask everyone, whoever can mute themselves, unmute yourselves, and just tell me the 5 things that you can see around you. Just shout out. It doesn't matter if you're overlapping.
At the moment, we are seeing those DTM errors.
A laptop.
What else?
Fan, mirror,
Laptop,
Very
keyboard,
good.
mouse,
painting,
pencil,
Books, a
painting,
printer and a laptop.
printer,
screen
Monkey.
outside,
A
trees
book,
outside the window,
Very good. So
tape,
5
duct
things we
tape,
counted. Very good.
sharper,
Now I want you to touch 4 things around you. You have to touch it physically, even if you want to step up a bit. Any 4 things that you can touch. Shout it out, what you're
Dumb.
touching.
How can I
Books,
touch
pencil,
printer,
mobile
sofa,
phone,
towers,
Yes.
mouse, and
Yes.
book.
curtain,
Yes. Very
table.
good. Very good. Now I want you to hold on, stay silent, and listen to any 3 things. One is, of course, whatever I'm speaking, you're listening. I want you
How
to
can we
think
listen
2 more
when
things.
you're talking constantly?
I just listened to DTM Talha. Very good. All of us have done 2 things. Let's look at one more.
My breathing.
Birds, the birds
My
chirping
breathing.
outside.
Very good. Amazing work. Now let's do this thing. I want you all to deliberately try smelling 2 things. I would like to smell my perfume. And I would also like to smell, I have
I,
the powder.
I smell my coffee.
Very good. And you can have something next to you.
My sweat in the 42-degree heat.
Yeah,
My
so even
child-
the smell, right? And
My
now I
child
want
just did
all of
number
you
2.
to step up for a few seconds and get any one thing that you can taste.
Taste.
Something that you can put in your mouth right now. It could be water, it could be coffee, it could be biscuit.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, please, something that is edible.
Mm.
Great.
Water.
Very good. So all of us have done something which is around seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, tasting. The moment we feel that we have gone overboard with the work, that whatever we are doing, we need to take a break and immediately get our 5 senses added up. Again, you don't need to unmute, just say with me. 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. It goes as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this puts you out of the panic mode. Whatever you're doing, these senses, when you involve them, they help you out. Another thing that I want you to try out is that whenever you get up in the morning, you go to work, or even when you get up and you feel overwhelmed, with your schedule for the day or for the week, you need 20 minutes of whiteboard where you could write down your productivity by 1, 2, 3, 4, shuffle them up, that which one do you want to do first, which one do you want to do later. And whenever you put a tick to it, it helps you calm down. It calms down your nerves so that you don't get the stress built up. Another thing that I want all of you to do along with me, I want you to unmute yourself, and we are going to do breathing, and you have to hold on to it with me. So I want you all to
Toastmaster and Ran Rana, have you written a letter about your vision for the district? So last time we talked, you mentioned. By the way,
By the way, I'm very interested to hear the statement. Can
DTM
you finish that statement?
KTC is having a meeting this Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
DTM Sarfaraz,
Is the agenda still being?
I need you, DTM Sarfaraz, I need you to stay with me and try this breathing exercise.
Yeah, I
Because I
thought
can
you said.
really feel that so many things are going on with you right now. You know, with what's happening at KTC, what's happening at Table Topics.
I thought
So
you said to unmute. I was muted, but you're the one who said to unmute yourself and start talking.
I just want you to unmute to do
unmute and
what
start
I'm
talking.
telling you to do. And I would really love to go for you to try it on because I have heard till now is your speeches, your leadership notes and keynotes. I want to hear your breathing.
I see Toastmaster Abdul Fateh. Oh, he's smiling. Good to see you.
Smiling. And he's going to be with me in this. So DTM Sarfaraz and everyone.
I like the curious George monkey behind him.
Yes. So I want you all to unmute and start breathing with me. Everyone, pin drop silence and just inhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale
1,
slowly.
2, 3, 4.
3, 4, 5, 6,
6,
7, 8.
8.
For this, it is important that you do not speak. You just breathe in, hold and exhale.
Breathe.
I want you all to do it once more.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fantastic. Good job. Good job. Please unmute yourself. Wonderful. Wonderful. I really like the way how you're with me, and I have so many helpers today that's got me so excited. My stress level has gone out of the window. So now let's go towards the closing, and stress isn't the sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're playing a bigger game. You need to remember that. And champions, they don't burn out. They keep on trying and they learn to manage their fire, not get consumed by it. So remember, no title, no salary is worth your peace of mind. Because when you lose that, you lose everything. Because when you manage your stress, you don't just save yourself, you lead better life, you live better life, and you love better life. So thank you so much for being along with me. And I'm passing over the stage to the Toastmasters of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DTM Iram. Over to our lead evaluator, Toastmaster Ran Rana, to lead the evaluation session.
Just wanted to ask if the speaker qualified.
No.
As per time. Okay, thank you.
Nice. Toastmaster Rafat, you can mute yourself. You're done.
So, first of all, congratulations, DTM Iram Rizvi, for picking up such a difficult project. I can understand your feelings because there was a time when I delivered the same project, and all the disruptors become getting on my nerve. They tried to disrupt the whole speech as many times as possible. So kudos on that.
Thank you.
So this project requires to point out the disruptors and diffuse them in a gentle way, in a respectable way. So you did an amazing job on that, and you perfectly managed to diffuse the disruptions, although the disruptors were quite
persistent.
The disruptors were highly qualified.
And the disruptors did not even stop. They broke all the rules. All right.
So that was the plan. Since when the speaker is herself as allocating the disruptors, you and you are this and that. So disruptor has to go one step ahead the rules provided to them. So overall, a wonderful strategy to diffuse all the disruptors. And I really love the way you related the topic of stress management while we disturbing the speaker, and you amazingly relate the stress thing with the disruptor, and you made them realize is that this is one of the stress that's why we are making this thing. So overall, a wonderful management of disruptors, but the only area of improvement I could suggest you is that you have to deliver the speech within that time limit. So the
Yes.
speech was 5 to 7 minutes, and you have to finish that speech in 10 to 15 minutes. So just that that is the improvement area overall. Hats off to your patience, and thank you so much about telling us about stress management. So kudos on that. Maybe
you.
you could have changed the topic. Otherwise, you could have got some different kind of disruptors at so I would like to now call upon my modular evaluators. One by one, can they just stand up and deliver their project?
All that we can outsource every aspect of it for those, please.
Okay,
Right.
so okay, so DTM Sarfraz, please go. You are the first one.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. You said please stand up. I hope it's okay with you if I don't stand up. I'm just sitting in bed, taking it easy. It's very difficult to stand up and disrupt a speaker. DTM Arun Rizvi, first of all, congratulations on completing level 4 project. And I'm assuming that this completes your level 4 and you will be submitting in the near future your completion in base camps, club center, which will give the club its 5th goal achievement in Distinguished Club Program. Congratulations on the completion of the project. Now, as far as your oratory, you had a very commanding voice, very clear voice. And the way you were speaking, and I mentioned commanding voice, it appeared that if you were to ask your husband to do something, he would be immediately saying, "Yes, my dear." And before you knew it, he was on running to carry out the task. That's how commanding your voice was from the very beginning throughout. There no issue with misunderstanding what you're saying. And while people were disrupting you, you still had the same command of voice something. So from an auditory point of view, great job.
Thank you.
The only personal opinion that I have is 15 or 20 minutes that you spoke, your voice, your commanding voice remained the same. In other words, at times I wanted to see the level go down, something where to show that, hey, the stress, when you're feeling relaxed, so then the voice mellows something. So I didn't see that, the lowering of the voice or the tone. But in general, great job. And I would love to interrupt your speech anytime. Back to you, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much. Now, can we ask DTM Talha to give his 1 minute of evaluation, modular evaluation?
Wasn't the turn of the visual evaluator first?
So for visuals, can we ask if Toastmaster Najam or Gavilier Heather? Whoever is available.
Audible, visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is somewhat not totally familiar to me, but I assume that it is the visuals that came across, how I thought about them. So DTM Rizvi chose to speak from a sitting position, and generally her face was very clearly visible, and she chose a dark background. Now, I don't know whether the dark background was because the topic was stress and she wanted to stress the audience more, or for some other reason. The other thing I noticed that she had a very good hand use. I mean, wonderful use of hands. They were always aligned with her message, her confidence that she showed throughout her speech. But sometimes the hands were not visible. Occasionally they were. Generally they were, but quite a lot of times they weren't. So perhaps when you wanted to use a sitting position and speak from that, maybe if you had kept the laptop a little behind you, further back, or sat your chair a little back, that would have been better. Otherwise, obviously, there's no need to tell you that you were confident throughout the speech and you had a wonderful message. I didn't quite get why the disruptions were coming across until the end. I found out this project was a requirement of the project. So I was wondering what was happening, what was going on here. But otherwise, a wonderful speech and visuals were fine as long as that's how you wanted to do them.
Thank you.
Over to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you so much. Now, Talha, could we have your feedback? 1 minute modular evaluation.
Feedback on what?
Yeah, I don't have the agenda at the moment in front of me, so please go ahead.
A perceptible evaluation. How your speech came across, DTM. I think this is the first time I've ever encountered such a situation where the speaker actively attacked her distractors and reflected back the same disruptions at them. I think it was superbly clever on multiple levels. First of all, it neutralized the disruptors. Secondly, it gave the disruptors something to do. Instead of we having a field day disrupting you, we were asked to do things again and again. See, hear, smell. I think that was nothing less than genius. And strangely enough, defying all logic, it also managed to illustrate the central point of your speech. So you actually use the expected disruptions as the content of your speech. And that's, I think, first time, perhaps the last time I've seen that done. But congratulations. So that was my report. We not only understood your speech very well, thanks to your using the disruptors for this purpose, but we also learned the art of handling disruptors. It was successful on both fronts. Congratulations. Over to you, lead event.
Thank you so much, GTM Talha. Now, could we request GTM Abdullah Fateh to give his feedback about language?
All right, thank you. When you say language, of course, mostly grammar, in my opinion. Now, let me ask you a question, DTM Iram. Are you an English teacher?
No, but I'm a trainer.
Yeah, well, there you are. You see, you put me in a hot spot. I could only catch three things. The first one, when you said those people were the one. Now, people is plural. We should say those people were the ones. And the second one is when you say everybody follow. Everybody is single. We should say everybody follows. And the last one is when you mentioned the word corona, you turned and you got, you coughed. Now, that cough is a flu cough and not a corona cough. That's it. Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you so much, DTM Fateh. So now it's time to give the speaker a chance to.
All right. Thank you very much, lead evaluator, and my humble appreciation to all the modular evaluators, all the interrupters for making this project successful. By the way, I did face interruption when I go to universities. I do some government training. Military ones are very nice. They don't interrupt. So for me, this project was very important. I have opened this project for last 1.5 months, just going through each point, and it is life-changing. the way I have implemented this in my training has really, really given me so much of power of not getting stressed out with interrupters. In fact, getting them involved somewhere or the other. And everybody should try out, should download, at least read, and once try this project, because it really opens you up as a speaker. And it did. And I did it practically first, because I was more nervous to do it in a Toastmasters club than in real life. So I did it practically first, and then I have taken up courage to do it in Quantum Leap. And thank you so much for the brilliant feedback that I got today. And DTM Sarfaraz, you're most welcome to interrupt me anytime. All open doors for you, not for you, Imran Rana and DTM Tala. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, DTM Aram. I think we learned the lesson of a lifetime today. We've seen this project done countless times. Correct me if I'm wrong, the seniors, but I think this is the first time I've actually seen this technique, because the Toastmasters manual itself suggests first of all, it anticipates very mild and cultured interruptions. The very fact that it doesn't allow interrupting more than once, in my opinion, respectfully dissociates it from real life. The second is that it actually prescribes very gentle, very mild, very, I would say, neutered reactions very gentle. For example, it recommends that you engage the interrupter by agreeing to their point and then moving on with your speech. Nothing elaborate, but I think in your treatment of the disruptors, we learned that, and I learned for one, that you could actually actively engage the disruptors rather than just reacting passively to them. And that really puts the disruptors in their place. I mean, yes. I was flabbergasted that, what is she doing? She is disrupting the disruptors themselves. And
that is practical tip, by the way. So whenever I get disrupted, I always give something to the disruptor to do, and I put him in my team that, you help me out with this. And it works magic. So thank you for the opportunity.
I learned this years ago when a friend of mine, he had small kids, and he told me that, if they're being too much handful, give them some tasks to do. It works like magic, but I never thought this would work on disruptors. So absolutely amazing job there, DTM Aram. Now, without further ado, we need to move to the table topics master. And our table topics master today is DTM Inayal. And let me remind everyone that in our table topics, the first table topic speaker is first evaluated for 30 seconds by the second speaker, and then they get assigned their assignment. The last speaker evaluates the first speaker then evaluates the last speaker to complete the sentence. Over to you, DTM.
All right, thank you very much. And in 1 year from now, you might bring your butler with you to AI butler to help you. If you get the tabletop question, you can ask him and he will help you. Tonight, there's no butler, there's no AI. You're alone. So here we go. Now, I'm going to pick up the first one is to help DTM Aram to get back at the people who interrupted her. I'm going to start with DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, who interrupted her a lot. So I'm going to start with that. Here we are.
I'm being punished for interrupting.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now, since you interrupted because of curiosity, that's why, which is really fine, then your question is a statement and you have to develop it. Curiosity is the engine of achievement. Curiosity is the engine of achievement. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Table Talks Master. Curiosity is the engine achievement. And I've also heard curiosity killed the cat. So, well, look at the children. They're always curious. They ask questions. And each time they ask a question, you answer their question, they'll say, why? And then you answer that question, why? And that's because they're very curious. And that's how children learn. When we become adults, we stop asking questions. And now trainers like DTM Aram going around telling people, hey, you need to ask questions. Continue to ask why, till you get to the bottom of whatever the issue is or the problem is. So being curious is very important. If you are quiet and you're happy with your surrounding and you assume that everything is perfect, and that's not the way the world works. So when something happens, you start questioning either in your own mind, or if you people around you, you ask them. That so back to your original statement about curiosity, I believe strongly in it, that we should be curious just like children are, and especially the executives, when they're in meetings, instead of assuming that they are the mighty ones and they have all the answers, no, they should question and be curious and ask the people who have the answers. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Itiam Safraz. Excellent, well done, and I'll leave the evaluation to the evaluator. Now, in most meetings, the Toastmaster of the day, he thinks I'm safe. I'm the boss of the meeting, the captain of the ship. Nobody can approach me. I'm sorry, not in this meeting. So, Itiam Imran, here's your question, or statement rather. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. Stage is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Fateh. But before that, I would like to evaluate DTM Sarfaraz's speech for 30 seconds. So DTM Sarfaraz, you did an amazing job. You delivered the speech about curiosity is quite amazing and spot on. I like the content about, I like the statement, the curiosity killed the cat. It was quite humorous. The humorous part, you sprinkle humors around your speech, and you finally made the conclusion that that we should ask questions and we should be curious. We should have that curiosity of learning more and more. So kudos on that. Okay. So DTM Fateh, could you please repeat
Sure,
the topic once again?
Sure. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. I repeat, don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits.
Thank you so much, DTM Fateh, for such a wonderful topic. Don't limit your challenge, challenge your limits. I would say it like, don't limit your challenge, challenge your limits. Okay, so this table topic is more like a challenge to my limit. Most of the time, we don't take challenges because one of the reason could be that either we afraid of taking up the challenges, fear of failure and fear of disappointment and fear of things. But you know that these things are just not very important. They are just creating hurdles and they are just creating boundaries. They are just creating a limit. They're just creating a boundary that stopping you to take the challenges. So I would say that we should not afraid of taking challenges. We should take challenges and we should not try our best to give our best and see what happened. Failure or loser, it's nothing. Failure is nothing. It's all about learning. Either you win or either you learn. So over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. I'll pick up the next one. Zuhaib, are you ready? Zuhaib. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have a lovely question for you.
Should I
Zuhaib.
first evaluate?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, one.
Sorry.
Yes, okay, so I will first evaluate Toastmaster Imran Rana's table topics. Toastmaster Imran Rana, I really liked that even though you were struggling with the topic, you still went on forward and challenged yourself and went on to give a beautiful table topics. I really like that you even at the end of the table topic session, you delivered a message. Just a few things I have noticed that if it was about the challenging your limits, there are so many experiences in our lives when we have challenged our limits. If you could have just added just a little bit of your personal story, it have helped me connect more with you on a personal level. So overall, a wonderful table topic speech. Keep on inspiring, keep on coming on the stage. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Here we go. Here's a question, Zuhair.
Okay.
Courage is a resistance to fear and a mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Courage is resistance and mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master, for giving me such a topic that is close to my heart. Right now, it's the very first time I have evaluated someone on the spot as a table topic speaker. And it instilled a little bit of fear inside of me. But due to me being courageous and fighting that fear, I have moved forward and conquered another fear of my life. The very first time I stepped into a Toastmasters meeting, I still remember my heart. I was asked to come on the stage and introduce myself by Toastmaster Hamayu Kiani, my very good friend and a teacher. And I was very hesitant to go onto the stage, but I mustered up the courage, went up to the stage and said, I don't even remember what I said. And my heartbeat was so high at that moment that after 2 days, I could still feel that my heart had went through stress. That was the amount of fear I had for public speaking. But I did not say that I don't want this fear. I knew that if I had gathered up the courage to face this fear, I will become better in my professional and my personal life. And that is exactly what I did. I had the experience of 1 year back of going to boxing classes. And each and every time I was on the boxing ring and sparring with my opponent, I was fearful. But after that session, after that box sparring session, I felt happy at that I had conquered my fear. Same way, each and every time I am on the stage, it feels like I am boxing against myself, having a sparring session with my own fears and limiting beliefs. So I urge every single one of you that don't run away from fear or tell yourself that this fear should not be there, but muster up the courage to go in 12 rounds and defeat that fear. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. And you're going to be actually evaluated before I ask the question by somebody who put his camera off, but now came on the scene. And he thinks if I'm a speaker, they won't choose me. No. So, DTM Erum, would you please evaluate Zuhair before I give you your question? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master. So the speaker today was given a topic where I could see that he really did try to find a core base of, attaching to the topic. So before I heard that he talked about his first speech. So I thought his whole table topic would be around, finding courage to come on stage. But later on, he did go on the boxing. So even that is a good one. But my recommendation to the speaker is that he just kept on jumping from one point to another. But in the beginning, when he heard courage, there are few words that he could attach a picture with. So whenever you hear a topic which has the words of limitations or courage, I want the speaker to attach boxing with it right away. So, you start with the boxing, you close with the boxing. But if you start with the first speech and then you close with the boxing, so it gets the audience a bit of a confused. So just a tip that each word could have one picture attached to it so that you bring one story in the beginning, talk about your first speech, then again close it with the boxing. So that would have really elevated the speech, but he did very well. I'm very proud of the speech that he has done. So thank you for that.
Thank you for the
Excellent,
evaluation.
excellent. Thank you so much for that. Now, I'm sitting here and I can see the sunshine. You're sitting in the darkness. There's no sunshine coming. Anyway, so here's a question. When you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. When you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Stage is yours.
Beautiful topic, the table topics master. And that really brings up the memories of the time when things were very tough and I had to encourage myself to bring it up. For example, my father was diagnosed of cancer and I had to go ahead at the age of 18 and a half to work in Dubai. So what I did was that I went applying up. I applied at 533 places. And after 28 failed interviews, I landed upon my first job. When I compare this to my lectures that I give in the universities now, and I hear that, you know, after 4 attempts, 5 attempts, they say, this field is not for me. There is no job for me. There is no Vasta for me. I'm having nothing, you know, like nothing is working out. People would keep people on Vastas and stuff. So I keep telling them that just because goodness is not coming to you, you're not getting a response, you become that force. So always resilience is the best way to create the sunshine or to beat that positivity. There is nothing positive that could happen in life unless and until you keep trying and not to fear falling down. I have done that many times and I have surprised myself that once I try once more, I become that sunshine. And by the way, if there is no sunshine in the room, we have artificial light next to me, which is right there shining on my face. If you don't have it, create it. Even if it is artificial, live for it. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I wish Arsenal was here. I'll tell him, who needs AI? We don't need the AI. We don't need the butler. All right. So let me see. I don't know if we still have time or is that it, Toastmasters of the day? Do we still have time for another one?
Yes. Yeah, you can call a couple more. Yeah.
Okay. Who would like to volunteer? Abed Ali Habib? Or...
Yes, I would volunteer. I would volunteer Toastmaster Abed. So go ahead.
Okay, Abed Ali Habib, here's your question. Never let success go to your head and never let failure go to your heart. I repeat, never let success go to your head and never let failure go to your heart. Stage is yours.
If Abed Ali is not there, then Toastmaster Najam Rizvi.
Najam, okay.
Yeah.
Sir Najam.
Sir, are you there?
If not,
Yes,
I will go.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
first, please evaluate the earlier speech and then.
Yes, I'll start with the evaluation of DTM Iram. Let me see if I can turn my camera on. That's what I'm trying to do actually. Okay, I think I'll proceed without turning my camera on. DTM Iram, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. I really love the way you tackle this topic, and then you reinforce your message with your personal story, which is always great because that provides you, that connects you with the audience. The audience really accepts your message better because you're bringing a personal story into it. So that was wonderful. But perhaps you could have added how you yourself have become a sunshine for others, maybe your family, your students, your younger people, how they look up to you as the sun, because sometimes when we can't find what we are looking for, we try to become motivators for others, even if you're still looking for your own goals. You try to still help people and help them be the sunshine for them. Maybe if you could have added something like that, that would have been better or enhanced your speech. Over to the
all right.
tabletop master.
Najm, I will repeat your question. Never let success get to your head and never let failure get to your heart. I repeat, never let success get to your head and never let failure get to your heart.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Abdul Fateh. Never let success get to your head. That's very important. I'll start with that. Because a lot of the times when you achieve something, you feel that, you've done it and you sort of feel that, this is something that I have achieved. But as human beings, we are social animals and you can never achieve anything on your own. You have to keep in mind that there are so many people who have helped you in one way or the other. And the success that you've achieved, that's not your destination. There's always more that you can do. There's always a lot more that you can achieve in life. There's no, final destinations to your success. And that's important that you don't let it get into your head. Otherwise, you might not be able to achieve your greater goals. Now, lack of success getting to your heart, that's also, if you let that happen, that means that you have lost the will to continue to strive and to look for your success. There's no timeline for achieving success. I mean, you should never assume that, that this is it. It should never your failure should never get to your heart and you feel that, there's no success for me or that I can't achieve anything. So that I totally agree. Definitely is something we all need to remember. Sometimes we do tend to forget this message, but it's always important to remember and to motivate yourself to continue to strive. Over to you, Topic Master.
Thank you. And I think the first speaker, Dityam Sarfaraz, will be evaluating the last speaker, I believe. Dityam Sarfaraz.
That's correct. Thank you, Mr. Table Talks Master. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Najm Rizvi. Oops. I didn't know I was engaged in the project disruption because while I was just getting ready to provide my feedback, our poll just popped up and covered up all the faces. So I thought, oh, DTM Talha decided to disrupt while I'm giving my evaluation. Is he acting on behalf of DTM Iram Rizvi? Is there a conspiracy going on? He disrupted me, let's disrupt him. Anyway, Najm Rizvi, you did answer the question. You started with, don't let success get to your head. And that's important because if you do that, it could harm you. So you did answer the question. But from my point of view, I think the whole topic was as one. It was not two different topics given to you. So you should have just continued giving both sides, the success and don't let the failure get to your heart, rather than just saying, let me talk about the first one and then the second one. That's the only point you have. But in general, you did answer the topic that was given to you to some extent. Back to you, Mr. Table Talks Master.
Okay, thank you so much. And that's the end of the session of the table topic. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Abdul Fatah. What a wonderful table topic session we had today. And thank you. We're honored with your participation. We certainly hope that you participate again and again. Now, before quickly handing over to the General Evaluator, let me circle back to the theme about how Star Wars sucks. So my message to everyone would be, first of all, they've expanded it and mutilated it beyond recognition. nothing was needed after the first 3 movies, but they managed to make 10 more movies around it, and they're still making more. And the worst part is that they're making things up as they go along. They're changing the history, they're changing the rules, changing the law. So there are a lot better things to stick to rather than Star Wars, and we should learn to actually question decisions regarding these things because we are stakeholders in them. We've watched them, we've given them our money for their movies. I'll never forget the day I took my whole family out to watch the first new Star Wars movie that came out, which was The Force Awakens. And yes, of course, it was a wonderful experience. We paid all the money which went to the cinema owners, and some of that went to Disney as well, the franchise owners. Now they owed it to us actually do a good job with the sequels as well. But instead, they delivered a subpar sequel that we unfortunately also went to watch. So it's not as if we, the fans, the stakeholders, we are just in the habit of renting. It's actually the fact that we spend money and time on these things, and we deserve better service. So let us all be Karens for once and start questioning the decisions that they make with these franchises, because ultimately it all, yes, I know it's just entertainment, but it's costing real money. And that's the spirit with which these franchises and these stories should be taken forward. I think Star Wars also suffers gravely from the fact that it's not based on any book. And that to me is its lasting disadvantage, because versus something like Dune, which is the Dune books are absolute benchmarks in the history of science fiction and literature. You can't beat that. Similarly, the Harry Potter books, the Lord of the Rings. So when books aren't involved, this is what comes. Different movie producers who do not have the insight, the skill, and the storytelling expertise of writers, they get in charge and they manipulate the franchise. They make up the stories as they go along. So I think that should be one of the lessons to ultimately books and writers can provide more thoughtful entertainment. So without further ado, after plenty of ado, let me hand over to our journal evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster, Sir Francis. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Just before I give my brief remarks about the meeting itself, I'm going to ask our language evaluator to provide their report, please.
Well, actually, since we didn't have a full-time language evaluator with us, I just decided that we will evaluate the language as we went along. So the language for the table topics, the prepared speech was evaluated. I'll just make a brief remark on the keynote, which I volunteered. First of all, the language was very easy to understand. Congratulations, Arslan. You made quite tough material very easy to understand. I would just say, I picked up a lovely statement from your entire keynote, which is that AI will not take our jobs, it will only take the jobs of people who don't adopt with the times. So beautiful. Could just detect one error. You said human trials, perhaps trials on humans would have been a little bit better. Not necessarily incorrect, but slightly. So that's pretty much it. Over to you, DTM Sir.
Thank you. And I understand you were also the timer. So any remarks about the timing job?
Yeah, actually, first of all, the keynote speaker complied with their timing. The question and answer session went 3 minutes over time, but I think it was worth it. Then the speech itself went over time, I think by a minute or so, thanks to a disruption. So in that sense, disruptors did succeed in making the speaker spill their time. And the table topic session was allocated 15 minutes. I think roughly it complied with that. And we are around 10 to 12 minutes over time, which needs to be investigated into, but it's not because any individual role players, except for the prepared speaker, exceeded their time, because the table topic speakers were well within their time. I think the culprit is, first of all, the Q&A session and the modular evaluation sessions, which also exceeded it. So we need to do a better job in that respect. Over to you, DTM sir.
Thank you, DTM Talha. In my personal opinion, this was a great meeting. We had a very good keynote, both from the speaker point of view and the topic itself, the AI, followed by a long speech, even though speech was 5 to 7 minutes, but it was supposed to include disruptions. And DTM Iram Rizvi not only gave us a very good speech on stress management, she also managed the stress of disruptors. So that was great. And DTM Talha, a long time ago, you will remember that I was delivering a speech online at Karachi Toastmasters, and I was disrupted, not by a human being, but by Siri. I did not know when I was giving a speech that I had my iPhone sitting next to me. And within my speech, I said, Apple iPhone. And when I said that, Siri started talking. Can I help you? What can I do for you? And I kept on stopping. I thought somebody in Karachi Toastmasters Club was disrupting and I had a question, something. 2 times it happened. So DTM Iram Rizvi, you had live disruptions. I had the Siri from Apple disrupt me. That's a unique experience. And I love the table topics. If I can remember some of them, I'll use them as a table topics mastered at one of the other club meetings. So I love, because your topics were designed to, they were thought-provoking. In other words, rather than just a simple, hey, tell me about your vacation. So these were something that makes a person think, like the success and failure or the curiosity. So I love the topics. Great job. And we had very good evaluations. And finally, we had 15 or 16 people join the meeting, and that's not bad for a Sunday afternoon meeting. Great job, everyone. The presiding officer and the VP Education continue to keep the good job that you're doing. And Imran Rana, it's always good to see your smiling face. You're also, without telling jokes, you just your appearance is a joke itself sometimes. They're supposed to be in a positive manner, not in a negative way. And the fact, Najam Rizvi joining us, several of them participate in the table topics. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, everyone who joined, with the exception of few, the Rafat Mubin, and I'm sure to DTM Talha, you will have them say a few words. I enjoyed attending the meeting and I look forward to the next meeting. Until then, back to you, presiding officer.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz. Let's float a quick poll for best major role players. And in the meantime, let's take comments from our guests. Toastmasters Zuhair Raza, your comments about the meeting.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha bin Hamid, for asking me for the feedback. I wanted to attend the keynote speech, but unfortunately, when I was able to attend the meeting, it was already over. So after that, I really enjoyed the session, especially the speech given by DTM Iram Rizvi, and the thing she taught me about if someone is disrupting you and how to disrupt them back. That's something that I will incorporate into my speeches. And I have learned a lot from everyone who is attending this meeting, and I hope to do the same in the future. Thank you very much, and keep doing such amazing meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Zuhair. The best part is that when someone joins for the keynote and stays for the meeting, I think that is the ultimate tribute to the club, and that nothing pleases us more. Thank you so much for that. Toastmaster Fazila Noor, would you like to share your comments? If not, we can move to Toastmaster Rafat. Toastmaster Rafat, are you there? Would you like to share your comments about the meeting?
Yes, sir. The meeting is meticulous. I enjoy a lot. The meeting is thrilling, and I think that I spend my time with pleasure. over to DTM Salah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Awad. It's always an honor and privilege when you can join us. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Najib Rizvi, sir, your thoughts about the meeting?
Thank you, DTM Talha. This was probably the third meeting that I've attended. Of this particular club. It's always 3 meetings that I've attended. They've always been very high quality meetings. Perhaps the only complaint I have was that it has run into over 2 hours. Normally, I like meetings which are around an hour in the meeting, and I think it was not only the keynote, but the entire meeting was worthwhile. The speech by the speech by DTM Iram was so table topics, excellent table topics, very well researched and thought out topics, and well addressed by the speakers also. So overall, wonderful meeting. I'm glad to have been here, and inshallah look forward to joining.
Great, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So our standard meeting time is every other Saturday at 3 p.m. We reschedule it due to the park tag, which by the way did not happen. But now things are hopefully back to normal, hoping and praying, and inshallah everything going according to plan. DTM Abdul Fattah, your thoughts about the meeting?
It's very simple. I'll put it in one sentence only, and that is, this goes to prove that quality matters more than quantity. Doesn't matter. You go to a meeting with 40, 50 people, and then you are bored, and you get out of really with nothing. And then you come to a meeting with 7 or 8 people, and then you get valuable. I enjoyed the keynote. I definitely enjoyed the speech of DTM Urum. And it was challenging to be the language thing, except as I said, from the cough, which is not corona. I keep confirming that to her. Other than that, it was a great meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's so heartening to hear your comments, and please try to participate in our meetings more, because when you talk about quality, you are one vital component of that quality. And that's what we all believe in, that, even if you don't attract, like, this club by definition is not designed to attract dozens and dozens of participants, because we are geeks and nerds, and we are proud of that. But whatever participation there is, there's always quality participation, no matter how long our agenda is. All the speeches and segments are super quality. So just briefly now, announcing the result. First of all, there's no best speaker because DTM you exceeded your time, unfortunately. Though there is a best event, which is Toastmaster Imran Rada, being the only evaluator. Unfortunately, you had no competition today, and you stayed within your time. I was so wishing that you had exceeded your time. Anyhow, best table topics today goes to DTM Iram. So, what you lost in prepared speeches, you regained in table topics, and you should thank Table Topics Master for that, because usually the prepared speaker is not called for table topics. So please hand over your trophy to DTM Abdul Fattah. And the best major role play today goes by a landslide to our Table Topics Master, DTM Abdul Fattah. Yeah, DTM Abdul Fattah, we are bribing you. Please resume your membership and resume your participation in our meetings. Please, and we'll give you as many awards as you want. So, jokes
DTM
apart.
Fattah, this is the trophy for you. It's a baklawa.
Oh my God. But jokes apart, I think it's very rare that Table Topics Master wins best major role play, especially economically. So hats off to you, DTM. It goes to show how much you said you lost. So with that, we bring this meeting to a close and have a nice rest of the weekend, everyone, and bye-bye.